Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming and sharing this experience with us. Along with this incredibly necessary function that a fire station has, I've always thought of fire stations as true symbols of community collaboration. And from the most primitive forms of firefighting, when communities would bring bucket brigades to save neighbors' homes, to today when we use the most sophisticated technologies available to keep our communities safe, we are still, in a very real sense, passing buckets to each other to save our neighbors' homes. This fire station, Fire Station 24, is a gleaming example of that collaboration. And here with me today to tell you a little bit more about it is our mayor, Mayor Penny Sweet.
Welcome, everybody. There are tall people in our fire department. It is great to see you all here today, socially distanced as we are, still for a little bit longer. The grand opening of this, well, before I do this, let me please introduce the council that is responsible for this happening. Deputy Mayor Jay Arnold, Councilmember Amy Falcone, Councilmember Toby Nixon, Councilmember John Pascal, Councilmember Kelly Curtis, and Councilmember Neil Black. Did I get everybody? This is a group of council members who has worked tirelessly in an effort to assure that we have adequate fire services out into the future, and we will continue working in that mode. I'm not going to say much today because I have to read it off this tiny little phone. But it is a long-awaited occasion, and I have asked council members Toby Nixon and John Pascal to join me today. Toby and John and I constituted the last Public Safety Committee, where we worked for years after we did the strategic plan on the process of getting us where we are today. Toby was a fire commissioner and was part of the annexation area. John was a neighborhood leader in the annexation area. So together we're going to tell that story. So I'm just going to turn it over to John.
All right, well, thank you, Mayor. So it's exciting to be here today. It's good to see everyone together. And so, I wanted to tell a little bit of a story about how this came to be. So the story of this fire station, in my mind, is a story of determination. For over 2 decades, Fire Station 24 served the community from a site located on northern Finn Hill, just south of the Kenmore border. And it was operated most of that period by Fire District 41. And Councilmember Nixon was a fire commissioner for many years of that district. My family and I only lived a block away from that station for nearly 15 years. And we felt very blessed to live so close to a station and its first responders. And I remember often bringing little goodies around the holidays to the firefighters to express our appreciation for their service to our community. And at first, that station was staffed by professional firefighters. And then with budget cuts, volunteer firefighters and EMTs staffed that station only at night. Then a few years after annexation, the volunteer program was permanently disbanded and the station was closed. Not only was the station too small to house modern firefighting equipment, it was not situated to efficiently respond to emergencies within the city, given our limited resources that we could dedicate to the fire department. And before the closure of the station, the fire district began looking for a more central fire station on Finn Hill. One of the sites it considered was a parcel within Big Finn Hill Park. And for those of you who were here 10 years ago, it was a meeting in 2010 that talked about that idea. And it's probably one of the few public meetings that really stand out to me. And I can't think of a public meeting that was more well attended than that meeting. The neighborhood was vehemently opposed to locating and taking parkland for a fire station, even though we all love fire stations. And ultimately, they convinced the district to put those plans on hold and let the city take on that responsibility. So once annexation occurred, the city of Kirkland began its own search for the Finn Hill Fire Station site. And the city leaders and staff evaluated dozens of locations and formed a fire station siting committee. And I was very pleased to participate on that committee along with many others. And at the beginning of that process, we only considered sites on Finn Hill because the original vision was let's combine fire stations 24 and 25 together and have a central fire station to serve the area. But to Kirkland's leaders' credit, and I wasn't on the council at this time, they really insisted on taking a broader view of response times, kind of on a citywide the northern part of the city basis. And so sites in Juanita were evaluated as well. And this is how we came to identify this site and where we are today with the new permanent site of Fire Station 24. And that was a trying process. It was hampered at times by a lack of money, by a lack of space, a lack of political consensus. But we overcame all those obstacles together, and we had to, because the fundamentals of firefighting throughout the nation were changing quickly. New challenges were threatening communities, and we needed to adapt to meet those challenges as a city. And the first challenge was a phase, actually, in the life cycle of a structural fire, known as a flashover, the point at which a fire has become too hot for human survival. And 30 years ago, when most building materials came from wood, wool, and natural products, structural fires needed 30 minutes to reach that temperature. Today, when many building materials come from petroleum-based products, they need less than 10 minutes to morph from a flicker into a tragedy. And the second major challenge was and is cancer. A few years ago, cancer eclipsed fires as emergency responders' most prolific killer. Emergency responders, we now know, had been marching into smoke, a concoction of burning plastics, oils, and metals. Afterwards, they returned to the fire stations that they were designed before we knew just how poisonous those fires can become. They slept with their gear near their pillows so they could respond quickly. They ate meals while the steam from their plates mixed with the off-gassing from their equipment, and as a result, they developed cancer at higher rates than the general population.
Thank you, John. These two issues, reducing response times and protecting the health of our first responders, were two of the most ambitious goals presented to Kirkland's leaders by a team of fire experts in the Fire Strategic Plan back in 2012. To achieve those goals, the plan recommended 95 improvements, 95 investments, changes, and additions to make our community safer and healthier. So far, of those 95, we've accomplished 86. We've purchased and staffed water rescue craft, which enable us to reach victims in the water quickly and save their lives. We've hired a full-time emergency manager and built a dedicated emergency operations center at City Hall. Both of those proved essential for Kirkland when we became the epicenter of the COVID pandemic in February of last year. We've dedicated a reserve engine to the Fire Training Academy, which provides support to firefighter candidates from all over our region, and many more. But the hardest and most expensive, the most essential tasks have also been the most fundamental to solving those two basic challenges: getting to the fires before flashover and before cardiac arrests become fatal, and protecting the health of the responders who protect us. The 86th task we're completing, building this new Fire Station 24, has been one of the most challenging, as John explained. We had to save money, purchase a strategically located parcel, design it, and then build it during a very difficult time. And the result is what we're standing in today. We know this is a sound investment, an investment that will pay dividends to our community for decades to come. This fire station is located so that firefighters will be able to reach the people who live and work in Finn Hill and Juanita quickly when they need it. From here, they can reach every home in Juanita and Finn Hill in less than 6 minutes, of when a call is received, fast enough to save lives and save homes and businesses. The station is designed to protect the health of those who are responding and to empower them to be even more efficient than they already are. It provides quick access to the apparatus bay, where we are, from every location within the station. Responding to the lessons learned with the COVID-19 early pandemic response, it provides a decontamination room with exterior access. So if people are coming in dressed in their garb because they've been helping somebody who might be infected with COVID, they don't have to walk through the building to get all of that off and to be decontaminated. Airlocks prevent engine bay fumes from entering the station's work and living spaces. And it's designed to be operational even after a significant earthquake. Basic things like the design of the apparatus bay doors and resilient walls that won't fall over in an earthquake. I mean, you look at these doors, you notice, unlike many of our other stations, they open right and left. They don't roll up. And that's because when the power's off, it's very difficult to roll up a 2-ton door, right? But the firefighters here, after an earthquake, they can just push these doors open if necessary in order to get out to come and rescue us. We're exceptionally proud of this accomplishment and grateful to everyone involved in making it happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Toby and John. We still have some very big tasks left to cross off our list. In the fall of 2021, Kirkland's voters approved Proposition 1, yay, which allows us to cross off numbers 87, 88, 89, and 90 off that list. And like the relocation of Fire Station 24, those are big ones, fundamental to saving lives, saving homes, and protecting our emergency responders' health. Early next year, we will begin starting the building of a new Fire Station 27 on the east side of the freeway, an effort that will ensure the Kingsgate and Totem Lake communities have access to timely response for their emergencies. Later on in 2022, we will begin renovating Central Houghton's Fire Station 22 to help our emergency responders be more efficient and to protect their health. In 2023 and 2024, we'll renovate Forbes Creek Fire Station 21 and North Rose Hill Fire Station number 26. As a city, our goal is to protect our communities and to protect those who risk it all to keep us safe. We could not be doing this without the support of our communities and the sacrifice of our emergency responders. Thank you to all of you.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you. There's one more feature that I'd like to draw your attention to. If you would look behind me over my right shoulder, you'll see the sentinel, and it should be reacting as though there's an alarm here shortly. Tim, that's your cue. There we go. So those lights come on when the tones come on in the station when a fire crew is dispatched on an alarm. So this was made possible by Kirkland's 1% for the Arts policy. And here to tell you a little bit more about that is Lanny Brockman, who served on the Cultural Arts Commission and worked to help define this piece of art.
Thank you so much. As a Kirkland Cultural Arts Commission member, I'm thrilled to be here today to welcome Kirkland's newest art piece. In 1973, Seattle passed a 1% of art ordinance, which sets aside 1% of capital improvement project funds for commission, purchase, and installation of artworks in a variety of settings. The Seattle Arts Commission, renamed the Seattle Office of Arts and Culture, advocated the program, and the Kirkland community has benefited ever since. We have the dandelions at Juanita Village, the Greenway Project, the crane at the courthouse, the fountain at Kirkland Urban, and so much more. So today, it's my honor to be introducing you to the City of Kirkland's newest piece of art, entitled The Sentinel, as you know. And as you know, a sentinel is a person or thing that stands watch and is ready to alert, help, and protect. You may recognize the sculpture also as the Maltese Cross, which is the international symbol for protection and the iconic symbol for the firefighter. It also represents the principles of charity, loyalty, chivalry, gallantry, generosity to friend and foe, protection of the weak, and dexterity in service. Perfect for a fire station, if you ask me. But there's more. Michael Clapper's compelling design also glows from within at all times, reminding us that Kirkland's firefighters are at the ready 24/7. And speaking of 24/7, this station, since it's numbered 24, and those numbers are engraved in the sculpture, but I believe that those numbers represent so much more than that. They reiterate a heartfelt promise made by firefighters everywhere to protect 24 hours a day. So thank you everyone for being here today to welcome the Sentinel, this powerful beacon of hope, help, and safety represents Kirkland's finest and the incredible work they do 24/7. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you all for coming, and welcome to your new fire station. We have some cookies and coffee behind, and if you don't mind, I'd like my new friends from across the street. They can go in there and get ahead of the line. So there you go. And feel free to take a look around the station. And again, thank you. Thank you all for coming.
All right. On three. That means on three. 1, 2, 3. Go for it. One piece. There you go.